What is going on, everybody? It's Franz. I'm here for our AEW on TBS review for May the 11th, 2022, the night from the UBS Arena where the Owen Hart Cup tournaments begin. With 2 matches in the men's, 1 in the women's. 1 match, of course, will be on Rampage for the women as Riho will take on Ruby Soho. But tonight we got Jamie Hayter versus Toni Storm, as well as Adam Cole versus Dax Harwood. And in the main event, anything goes. Jeff Hardy versus Darby Allin. And oh boy, what a way to end the show, because that was 10 minutes of a damn good car crash. So we'll get to all that too. Also, I see where we're going with the Jericho Appreciation Society and LAX, as I'm going to call it until they come up with a different name, as another group decided to make their name, make their presence known. We'll talk about that as well. And CM Punk took on Johnny Hungee, and what was CM Punk just being a total heel? We had heel Adam Page last week. This week we had heel CM Punk. And Danhausen makes in-ring debut, and I think that was about it. We started off with Adam Cole and Dax Harwood for the Owen Hart Foundation quarterfinal match. The winner of this match will take on the winner of the main event next week. You're wondering, why are they doing it next week? Well, because AEW also has... I honestly don't know why they're not doing it next week, unless they're going to have, they're going to have it next week, along with the rest of the quarterfinal matches that are left, which will be Samoa Joe versus Joker and Kyle O'Reilly versus Rey Fenix, which makes me wonder, because they're going to have 1 women's match next week and 1 women's match on Friday, that they'll have another one on Friday for the women, and then they'll have whatever's left over for the women on the 25th, because that is the go-home show to Double or Nothing. But we had this match. Dax Harwood still rocking his Bret Hart, Hart family-inspired ring gear. Adam Cole as well as out here. The two, Martha Hart was in attendance, and we saw her shown on the screen, shown on our TVs every time we were in one of these Owen Hart Cup matches, to let you know that she was here. Oj and Athena were all here, so good on them. 2 men start out with some grappling and mat wrestling to try and gain an advantage. Adam Cole looks to hit his trademark pose, and he does the first time. He gets him in the corner again, does the Adam Cole, baby, but Dax Harwood was like, fuck you, and chops the hell out of him. Cole is able to take over with a neck breaker, and then he drives Dax into the top turnbuckle. Harwood responds with a sharp jab. He looks for the sharpshooter, but Cole stops it. Now, this was something telling about this match, is that Dax Harwood was trying to look for the sharpshooter for the majority of the match. And the way the match ended was, I think, just perfect. Cole then launches Dax across the ring and into the ring post. Follows him outside of the ring to send his opponent into the steel steps multiple times. He then continues focusing on the ribs with an abdominal stretch in the middle of the ring. Cole continues his dominance, launching Dax into the turnbuckle as he takes a Bret Hart-style bump. You know, he's going to do as much masturbatory Bret Hart tributes as he can during all of this. After Dax turns things around with a German suplex, though, and hangs on to hit another one. And Cole turns it around, hits his own German suplex. Harwood's able to turn that around again and hit a 3rd German suplex. Beautiful looking sequence. And both men are down. They both end up on the top turnbuckle. Cole goes for the superplex, but gets sent to the mat. He goes for the diving headbutt, does Dax Harwood, but Adam Cole moves away. But he moved away too soon, because Dax Harwood was able to readjust himself and just land on his feet. Even JR, I believe it was, who said he did move away too soon. He immediately catches Cole in a slingshot powerbomb, and Cole kicks out, barely. He then turns things around with a brainbuster onto the knee, Oshigroshi style. This time, it's Harwood having to kick out of a pinfall attempt. Cole then begins tuning up the band, which I fucking love this. He gets in the corner, he starts tuning up the band, and the Long Island crowd starts booing the shit out of Adam Cole, with how much that Dax Harwood sees Bret Hart as a mentor, and Adam Cole was mentored by HBK in NXT, and the fact that Brett and HBK have so much history together and their stories will forever be intertwined with each other. This was just awesome. Goes for the super kick, but it's avoided. Which Dax follows up with a crossbody. Dax gets sent into the corner. He attempts it again, and this time Cole nails the super kick. Despite that, Dax kicks out and he nearly catches the Adam Cole with a quick pinning attempt, but he kicks out. Cole goes for the Panama Sunrise, but Dax catches him in his goal. Cole goes for it again. He flips him over and into a power driver, which Cole kicks out of. Dax then locks in the sharpshooter, great ovation, but the ribs on Harwood give in and he has to release the move. Which, as soon as he put that sharpshooter in, the crowd went nuts. Then, yes, he was holding the ribs were a problem. Cole was able to, alleviate, push himself up enough to where he had to let go. Cole then knocks Dax to the outside, which once again hurts the ribs, as he just falls flat on the side of the hurt ribs. Harwood then tries to beat the count originally, but falls straight down. Ref gets to 9, and then Dax Harwood's able to pop himself back up, get into the ring, and beat the count. But Cole locks in the sharpshooter himself. Dax Harwood tries to fight to the ropes, then Cole brings him back into the middle of the ring, and Dax has no choice but to tap out. Adam Cole beats Dax Harwood with the sharpshooter in what was a damn good way to open the Owen Hart Cup for 2022 for the men. Not much else I can say about this. This was fantastic. We had a video edited of Jeff Hardy and Darby Allin talking about their match tonight, and Darby said one thing, to ask one thing for Tony Khan. Just throw out all the rules. Let us go be psychopaths, and let us go be ourselves. So it was announced later in the night that it will be an anything goes match. CM Punk versus John Silver. Now Hangman Adam Page comes out onto commentary. CM Punk's music plays. CM Punk comes out. CM Punk is wearing a John Tavares New Long Islander jersey. And the thing about John Tavares is that he no longer plays for the New York Islanders. He bolted to Toronto. So that was, his music stopped. He's sitting there, doing his down thing, when about ready to do his clamoring time. The music stops, and then he just stands up, puts his arms out, and just walks to the ring, Tommaso Ciampa style, to Booze as his theme. I fucking loved it. This was pure heel. This was just pure heel CM Punk. And Adam Page is up on the commentary, and he says it puts a little smile, it brings a smile to my cold heart. When Silver comes out, he gets a big pop. I wonder how long he's gonna. The Dark Order, I will say this, does feel a little less than it was before with the loss of Stu Grayson. Stu Grayson, of course, being unable to get the contract he was looking for from Tony Khan, so he's no longer with AEW. So let's see here. Silver drops Punk with a short attacker, but they goad Silver to the outside and back of the ring. He attacks him. Despite that, the younger wrestler attacks Punk in the corner to regain control. Punk manages to turn that around as he slows down the pace to anger the fans. However, he misses wildly with the attack in the corner, which creates an opening for Silver. He then unloads several kicks, including several to the face, with Silver then nailing a brainbuster, but Punk kicks out. Silver then stumbles into the corner, but he still manages to nail the Tornado DDT. Punk has to kick out. It's Punk up, but then he responds with a roundhouse kick, then a lariat. Punk then stares at the champion. Or stares up and sees that the champion's here. So he comes to the ringside, to the outside, bolts back in, hits a buckshot lariat. 1, 2, 3. CM Punk wins. Adam Hangman Page is pissed that he just watched one of his boys, as they said, getting beat with his move. So he heads his way down to the ring. He's not in a happy mood about this. They get face to face. Punk says, "Are you mad?" It looks like he's taking things personal. You're taking things a little personally. He knows that fans don't... I don't know why these fans don't like me, but it's not personal to me. It's just business. I wake up every morning and ask myself, am I a good guy? Today, I woke up and asked myself, am I the champ? And I said yes. I just destroyed one of your boys. And that was a blueprint, and at Double or Nothing, you will, when you said you weren't going to shake my hand, but by the time that match is over with, I will be champion and you will shake my hand. Whether you're conscious or not. He does the handshake thing. It was a very cocky looking handshake with a cocky smile. Hangman just points the finger at him and says, fuck you, and walks out. Loved this. And then the show's going great, and then we had to go backstage and listen to the Faker bitch and moan and whine and complain about there's a conspiracy against me. AEW is conspiring against me. They gave you a 10-month title reign, which you didn't fucking deserve. You think that you're being conspired against? Grow the fuck up. That might have worked in 2020 when you were irrelevant. Ain't working in 2021, 2022, you stupid bitch. You were you had the AEW Women's Championship for 10 uneventful, terrible Reign of Terror months. Shut the hell up about this conspiracy theory. Because there's no conspiracy. You're just fucking terrible. And whoever the Joker is, next week, I hope beats you within 30 seconds. So, we go back to the ring, and here comes Danhausen. So, he's taking on Tony Nese. Tony Nese did not get an entrance. You think that this means that Danhausen's going to win. Danhausen goes to curse Tony Nese, and then Mark Sterling gets up. He gets the curse. Tony Nese knocks Danhausen into the corner. Hits the running knees. 1, 2, 3. Danhausen gets squashed in seconds. I'm sitting here thinking, what was the point? The point is, Mark Sterling's like, are you surprised that Tony got an entrance and you didn't? How does that make you feel? Do it again. So he hits another running knee. And he goes to go for a third one, takes the knee pad down. Here comes Hook, who sends those guys running. So Hook, like Danhausen gets up, puts out the hand. Hook grabs it. They don't really shake, he just grabs it and just holds it there and then walks off. So at Double or Nothing, they booked it on the buy-in. Hook Hausen versus Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling. So every one of you hookers out there who've been calling for Hookhausen, you're getting your wish. Is it going to be a long-term thing? I hope the hell not. But for something to do for Hook to do at Double or Nothing, something for Danhausen to do, that's fine by me. This next segment was fucking beautiful. So, it's the contract signing. It's time to do the contract thing. And Wardlow's brought out to no music. And on the video board, you got a little thumbs down hand, and it says boo Wardlow as the crowd boos Wardlow. Wardlow's in the middle of the ring. We get a Dark Side of the Ring spoof narrated by Chris Jericho, which Chris Jericho's like, wait a minute, is this for MJF? I'm not narrating for this bastard after all we've been through. Wait a minute, how much is he paying? Okay, fine, I'll do it. So we get the MJF's retelling version of the events between Dog Collar match and up to tonight via Chris Jericho, which was fucking beautiful. MJF comes out, the crowd goes wild. I love when we get this one. This is crazy because in Long Island, CM Punk is a bastard heel, and MJF is the god among all wrestling gods, as he is loved by everybody in Long Island. You had kids chanting on camera, chanting MJF. You had people dressed like MJF. So he comes out, does like waves his hands like he's like conducting a symphony, and he says, that is a symphony, bitch. This is an underdog story, you know, likening to David versus Goliath, him being David and Wardlow being Goliath. He says David is like he will let Wardlow out of his contract if he wins a Double or Nothing. He doesn't want people to boo Wardlow, which, you know, he's winking the whole time. Like, yeah. I don't want you to boo, wink, wink, wink. I don't want you to make boo this guy out of the building, wink, wink, wink. We don't want you to get the Roman Reigns 2015 treatment, wink, wink, wink. And, of course, the fans begin to boo when Wardlow attempts to speak, and then he asks if he should let Wardlow speak. They say no, and he says, screw it, he doesn't get to speak. This goes back to what Wardlow did to his best friend, Cody Rhodes. He then asks his fans if they want him to talk about 2024, and he says, they're like, no. And he's like, neither does the guy in the back, so don't worry. He then says Wardlow is going to get whipped. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, and the crowd is just egging this on. Not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9. Shawn Spears? Shawn Spears takes his jacket off, and he's like, how many times is he going to get whipped? And Shawn Spears like gets ready and does the 10 as the crowd says it too. Fucking loved it. MJF says if he gets past the whips, Wardlow then has to wrestle Spears in a steel cage, which Wardlow's like, really? I have to fight this guy in a steel cage? He's like, I wouldn't laugh if I were you. You're 0-2 in steel cage matches. What's the second steel cage match? He went Cody versus Wardlow. What's the other steel cage match? They will also have a special guest referee, who is Maxwell Jacob Friedman, as the fans. Here's he points the mag to the fans. If you get past that, he gets the match. He then says if Wardlow loses, it's like we talked about what happens if you win. And now let's talk about what happens if you lose. Wardlow loses at Double or Nothing. He will never be allowed to sign a contract at AEW forever. Which does spoil kind of what the hell is going to happen and who's going to win, even though everyone knows Wardlow's going to win. So, it's like, you don't want to make it too obvious that Wardlow's going to win, but you kind of made it too obvious that Wardlow's going to win. Wardlow claims he signed without, he's trying to sign the contract. And he can't do it because his hands are bound to the handcuffs. So, this aggravates MJF enough to go, dude, just get these handcuffs off of him. I want this contract signed, just get the handcuffs off of him. By the way, this whipping is going to be what happens next week. So, that is what we're getting next week. And so, he signs the contract, and he's like, well, and MJF's like, thank you. Let's get the cuffs back on this guy. Whoever was supposed to cuff him, went to go cuff him, and Wardlow just absolutely abuses this guy. Beats everybody up. Gets his hands on MJF, which I would not have done. Gets ready to powerbomb him. Mark Sterling gets on top of Wardlow, and Wardlow powerbombs him through the table. One thing I wouldn't have done is I would not have had MJF been touched by Wardlow yet. Have something happen every time until we get to, like, even during the whipping, even in the cage, Wardlow does not touch MJF. We'll see what happens, but next week is the whipping, and the week after that, of course, will be the cage. This is what they did with Cody, but sped up because they only had 3 weeks until the pay-per-view. So, that was that. A video package aired of Samoa Joe talking about facing the Joker in the Owen Hart tournament. He says he's going to win it. We also have, and he says he's going to go out to Jay Lethal and all of those boys. Also, you had Sanjay Dutt, Jay Lethal, and Satnam Singh making fun of and taunting Samoa Joe that it's not Jay Lethal, it's not Satnam Singh, but they have a joke for you, which in Punjab, Sanjay Dutt says it in Punjab, I believe, and he said it's your stomach might be big, but your brain is very small, and they laugh about that. Yeah, Ricky Starks versus Jungle Boy FTW Championship match. This match, of course, was made because the Team Taz said they wanted a tag team title shot, But Jungle Boy says, you know what? You don't defend your title much, so let's have a one-on-one match for your championship, and that's what's happening here. If I want to say I actually paid attention to this match, I wish I could say that because it's the FTW title. I really don't care. I really wish they would just, like, Taz would take that back, put it back on his mantle, and leave it there. You have the TNT title, the World title, the Tag titles, the Women's title, the TBS title. We don't need, and you also have the Ring of Honor Tag Team titles, the Ring of Honor World title, and the Ring of Honor Women's title, which where the hell she been at? I don't know. We have all the Ring of Honor titles. We have the AAA Tag Team titles. We don't need the FTW title anymore. It needs to be retired again. I'm just going to say that. Only thing I know about this match is that Swerve Strickland shows up. Stark goes to grab the championship, but this leads to Swerve appearing. Now, Swerve distracts Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks gets rolled up by Jungle Boy. The referee, instead of doing his job, even though Swerve really didn't do anything, he's not hitting anybody, he's not like antagonizing somebody, he goes and tries to get Swerve out of here. So when the referee gets back, Jungle Boy's already let go of the pin. This allows Starks to hit the Rochambeau. 1, 2, 3, and that is that. So Swerve tried to screw Ricky Starks, but in the end, he screwed Jungle Boy. After the match, Swerve looks so upset with the fact that he just, what he tried to do backfired. Out comes Luchasaurus and Christian. They run right past him. They don't really care. Keith Lee comes out. Everybody's at a standstill. So, Jungle Boy's on the ropes. On the far end. And he's just he's distraught. He's pissed off. He's upset that this happened. Luchasaurus leaves the ring. Leaves Christian Cage and Jungle Boy by themselves. And you just see this tension. You just see this moment of it feels like Christian is going to turn on him very, very soon. Christian is going to screw them out of the tag team titles. It just had this feeling of if this was WWE or any other promotion, Christian would have went over there and blindsided Jungle Boy, beating him up and leaving him down. That didn't happen here. Goes over and it's just this even the commentators are like, what's going on here? He just goes over, consults Jungle Boy, and they head on out. It just feels like they are setting this up, and we've been talking. I'm not the only one. Everyone's been predicting that Christian Cage is going to turn on Jungle Boy very, very soon. I think that was supposed to happen in January, when the unfortunate injury to Rey Fenix happened. They did the whole deal where Luchasaurus takes out himself and Rey Fenix, and if Rey Fenix didn't get injured, Christian was going to turn and screw and cost the Jurassic Express, and the Lucha Bros would have retained their titles. That didn't happen because of the Rey Fenix injury. So, yeah. I don't know. It just feels really weird they keep doing this. They keep every so often teasing this. You gotta either do it or stop with the teasing. And that's that. So, we could see a tag team triple threat match. Maybe the Swerve and them versus Team Taz versus the Lucha Jurassic Express. Or, I don't know. We have the Jericho Appreciation Society victory speech. They come out. Danny Magic decides to go, y'all wanna know what makes me hard? What makes my nipples hard? And I'm like, no, not really. It's being in the greatest faction in the world, the Jericho Appreciation Society. And I'm like, dude, first off, do not start a conversation that way. Seriously. Unless you're with a significant other in your bed or in your house with them by themselves and you want to bring that up, that's fine. But don't do it on national television. That was weird. Jericho says, you know what, there's a lot of hometown heroes here. I'm one of them. I was born down in Manhasset. But I quickly got out of here because this place is a dump. And he's like, if you guys have a problem with that, I'll throw a fireball in your face because I'm a wizard. Fucking wizard shit, my goodness. Jericho 216 says he just burned Eddie Kingston's face. He tells Eddie he needs to stay home to take care of his wife. If she doesn't, she can give him a call. Danny Garcia then claims that that's what happens when sports. That sports entertainers always get the win against pro wrestlers. Out comes Jon Moxley. If you've been paying attention, you knew this was coming. Moxley takes his sweet ass time getting to the ring, going through every single facet he can, every place he can go to, so he gets around the ring. Jericho says, Moxley, I'll give you one chance to get out of here. Because there's only one of you and 5 of us. Cue Danielson's music. Out comes the rest of the Blackpool Combat Club. Jericho says, there's only 4 of you and 5 of us. On the other side, opposite the ramp, we have Eddie Kingston with a nice burn mark on his face. Nice job there. Santana and Ortiz show up as well. 6 on 5. And the babyfaces, the LAX and the BCC beat the hell out of the Jericho Appreciation Society. Even Lord Regal got a nice shot in on Chris Jericho as the babyfaces stand tall. This will be leading to a one-on-one confrontation between William Regal and Chris Jericho next week. Now, Wheeler Yuta is off to Japan very, very soon. I believe the Best of the Super Juniors starts next Thursday. So, I don't know if Wheeler Yuta is going to be in wherever they're at next week, or if he's going to be on his way to Japan because the Best of the Super Juniors is over the next 3 weeks. The next 3 weeks after this. And it's not going to be one of those things where he's going to wrestle a match and then be back here. No, that's not how it works. You wrestle a match, and then the next night, if Block A wrestles, Block B have tag team matches. Wheeler Yuta is going to be a part of that for the next few weeks. So that means we're getting blood and guts, and oh God, Regal has to say it. Regal has to say it. It can't be War Games. But for him to say blood and guts or something, however he says it. This is going to be happening at Double or Nothing. Blood and guts. I didn't know if we were going to go this fast to blood and guts. But by all means, give me blood and guts. The Jericho Appreciation Society versus Danielson, Moxley, and LAX. Give me that match. It will be made official probably next week. Not doing Stadium Stampede because they're going to be in Las Vegas. They're not going to be in Jacksonville. So there's no reason to do a silly Stadium Stampede. But we will see that happening next week. And I'll wait to see. I can't wait to see the confrontation between Regal and Jericho. Those two on the mic, oh my God, it's going to be great television. Toni Storm versus Jamie Hayter. This is the women's match in the opening round of the Owen Hart Women's Foundation first round match. I don't understand why everyone was so pining for Jamie Hayter versus Toni Storm. I know both of them were really, really good professional wrestlers, but I can't put my finger on it. Why these two women? Why everyone wanted to see this match? Why everybody begged to see this match? I wonder. I can't put my finger on it. They had a good match. They lock up early, feel each other out until Jamie slaps her opponent. Toni doesn't take kindly to that, launching her out of the ring. But she mistakenly puts Hayter back in first, so when she tries to get back in, Jamie just smashes her to the floor with a knee. On the outside, Hayter hits a great snap suplex, and back in the ring, she continues the attack, launching Toni into the turnbuckle. Storm then fights back with a series of chops, and then both women look for elbow strikes, which takes them both down. Storm charges in with a hip attack in the corner, and then plants Hayter with a DDT, following up with another on the outside. Back in the ring, and Storm connects with a crossbody, but Hayter responds with a backbreaker. The two then brawl on the ring apron, but Hayter slams Storm down onto the apron. He then connects with a superplex from the top rope, but Storm looks for a series of roll-up victories as Hayter tries to kick out. She ends up rolling into the Storm Zero, and that was that. Short, sweet, and to the point, good opening match for the women as well. Just a spike pile driver out of nowhere is very, very dangerous. I'm pretty sure her Storm Zero used to be something else, but hey, whatever. So we get a promo for this coming Friday. That's Frankie Kazarian versus Scorpio Sky. Scorpio Sky, of course, wants to bring respect back on his name and the TNT Championship, which, by all means, put respect back on that title because it's been passed around more than Tay Conti or any other woman in the back. So we get to Frankie Kazarian talking to Lexi Nair, I believe, and in comes Sammy Guevara and Tay Conti, and he's like, "Listen, that guy that you're wrestling next week, he's not the guy that you knew when you were tag team. That guy's dead, and he's gonna stab you in the back. You can't trust him." Of course, Frankie Kazarian's like, "Oh, I'm supposed to trust you though? No, I'm fine. I'm gonna trust myself. So get out of here." They get out of here, and that was that. Darby Allin versus Jeff Hardy is your main event. This was about 10 to 11 minutes or so. It's like you have two guys going around with a knife and saying, "You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts." Darby Allin immediately jumps out of the ring and nails him with he hits him with a drop kick into the corner. Allin then launches himself out of the ring into Jeff and creates a casket of chairs. All lined up, but he goes back to Jeff, and Jeff trips him into the headbutt into the stairs. On the outside, he leaps from the ring apron to clothesline his opponent, but hangs up Allin on the ropes. Jeff busts out a huge ladder, which he puts in the ring after the tussle over the weapons. Darby ends up hitting Code Red. Jeff kicks out. He fights back and sends Darby out to the ring as he lays the chairs set on the outside. Hardy then opens the ladder and he begins climbing, but Darby climbs up and yanks Jeff down. He lands awkwardly on the top rope. Then he spills onto the chairs, and Allin launches himself onto Jeff. He hits the swanton onto Jeff on the outside, and if this was a Falls Count Anywhere match, Darby Allin would have won right there because he was laying on top of Jeff. If this was Falls Count Anywhere, the ref would have came down 1, 2, 3, but this was not Falls Count Anywhere. As he smashes Allin, they get back to the ring. Allin thinks about a coffin drop, but Jeff rolls away. He goes for another one as Jeff is laying enough onto the ring apron. He goes for it, even flips him off, goes for the coffin drop, but Jeff Hardy was able to move out in time, and he hits nothing but apron. Yeah, Jeff then lays Allin on the side portion of the steel steps, heads to the top rope, goes for the swanton bomb because his addiction is getting to him. Allin moves, he bounces off the steel steps. That looked like that fucking hurt. Darby then puts Jeff back in the ring, hits the coffin drop, goes for the pinfall. Jeff's able to get the crucifix pin off of that. 1, 2, 3. Jeff Hardy wins, moving on to face Adam Cole next week. So, Jeff wins. It was a crazy way to finish the show. This was a very fun episode. Very good episode on Wednesday night. MJF and Wardlow was great. The only thing I wouldn't have done is I wouldn't have had MJF get grabbed by Wardlow and tease the powerbomb. I wouldn't have done it. But, yeah. This was great. AEW just... When we get closer and closer to the pay-per-views is when they really start turning up the heat and everything just starts clicking. We're getting blood and guts. If it's anything other than blood and guts, it makes absolutely no fucking sense. You got your 5. Like I said, Wheeler Yuta's not going to be there for Double or Nothing. He's going to be off in Japan, representing the BCC in Japan. I don't think he's going to win Best of the Super Juniors, but I think he's going to do pretty goddamn well. Yeah, so, and with the Jokers happening next week, Samoa Joe will take on his Joker, Faker will take on her Joker, and Kyle O'Reilly will take on Ray Phoenix. Next week is Wild Card Week, they said. Also, it's going to be I think that it's like, if the Joker, I just see, with the way things are going, and the way that, like, I'm pretty sure we'll hear from Jade Cargill and the baddies on Friday is what they said. I feel that we're going to get... Faker is going to get screwed out of her match, either against the Joker, which would make sense for her to lose to the Joker, especially if the Joker is somebody like an Athena or Tyra Valkyrie or somebody like that, the Joker has to win. If it's Penelope Ford or somebody who's in AEW but has already been in AEW, then you know the Faker's going to win. But it's Toni Storm versus whomever. I see that the Faker is going to lose because it's going to set up a match between her, because she's going to get screwed by Jade Cargill and the baddies more than likely. That's going to lead to Jade Cargill faces her, but those two at Double or Nothing in what will be a horrendous match because both of them are not ready to face off against somebody who they need to carry. Very excited to see what happens on Friday. Very excited to see what happens on Wednesday, man. Double or Nothing is going to be absolutely lit. Wardlow versus MJF is going to be good. CM Punk versus Adam Page is going to be good. Thunder Rosa versus Serena Deeb should be a damn good match. The video package, they had a video package air tonight with everyone talking this match up. That did more to get me excited for that match than whatever the fuck that was last week, because last week was bad. This was what they should have did. Yeah, we'll see what happens coming up very soon, but that is your AEW on TBS review. Another really, really good show. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video, find me on Minds at the France Club, find me on twitch.tv/the France Club, and find me on Instagram at the France Club, and I will see you guys on Friday for SmackDown and Rampage. And of course, Rampage is on at 5:30 again because of the hockey playoffs. They must have to have an hour and a half or an hour long pre-show. I don't know. Until then, Minds France. I'll see you guys later.